Absolutely, yeah. I mean, when I drove into the car park, I mean, Derek Dooley, when he told me I was in a takeaway when he rang me, and I didn't want to know in a takeaway. And he said, "Can you soak?" I said, "No, I'll be home in 5 minutes, Derek. Will you ring me then?" He said, "All right then, son." So it was the biggest mistake I ever done because I thought, "Oh, why didn't I ask you?" So we drove home quickly, and then when he said, "Son, your prayers have come true. You've got your dreams come true, son. You're a manager." Then I've got gooses as I'm talking to you now. It was a fantastic feeling, and driving in the car park and looking round and seeing that this is my club now, you know. And I remember telling Kevin McKay, we only had 8,000 crowd the week before against Port Vale and got beat, I think it was. And he said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want this to be the best club in Sheffield, the best average gate, the best ground. I want us to be in the Premier League." Not a lot really at that time, and we achieved all that. So it was an amazing, and in the process, we spent £3 million on an academy, which it would have been easier to spend on the team, but I wanted the academy. I wanted us to have that base as a fan, and the academy's more than paid for itself now over the last few years. You know, with the players that have gone out. So yes, you know, when I remember managing Todwick, or Toddick, as they say the locals, in Sheffield Sunday League, and thinking, where would I want to be as a manager, you know, and Sheffield, to manage your own team was, you know, the ambitions that you have was always high up there, and luckily, you know, I had 7 great years. Would I ever consider coming back to QPR? I think the role I see myself now is between the board of directors or the owners and the manager. Um, when you talked about directors of football years ago, I was against it, adamant, because it was a threat to you. But I think with especially so many owners coming in, new owners coming in, there's a gap of a football person between the owners and the manager. Somebody who's not a threat to the manager, who can help the manager, who the manager trusts, who can do a lot of the work that I've seen and let the manager get on with managing the football team as it was, on the training ground, picking the teams, getting the players he wants, by diverting a lot of the hassle away. And I think there's scope for that. And I still think there's a challenge in me there at a club. There's not too many hours away from Cornwall, either the Midlands, up to the Midlands, or across to London. That would be my furthest way. But QPR, you know, I wouldn't, you know, definitely in that role. I think there's a role to be played. So hopefully a club, I mean, you mentioned QPR, but any club that wants to challenge like that with me involved, yeah, I still want to get promotion and want to move on. I wouldn't go back anywhere as a manager now, unless it was just to, you know, to help out January, February, March time if the missus was fed up of me. I think it depends on what kind of day Ken wakes up in, really. You know, comment. It would have been a bad day when he said that, and it corresponded with him turning up. He's going to turn up the following day, I think, for his last home match. So it diverted a little bit of attention away. I don't really. I think if you ask the fans at Leeds, you know, do they take much notice about what the chairman said? I don't think many people would really. You just have to move on. I wish he'd have told me that, because about October time I had 2 or 3 great offers to move. Uh, so really, he only wanted me to stay, so he got his money, didn't he? No, we used to joke about that. We used to say, you know, if he got away with something, I'd say to him, "Don't you be late coming round tomorrow, Adele. You know, it's on the table at 1:30. Don't let it be cold." Or, you know, but it was same at Sheffield United with Michael Brown and Jagielka or some of that. I always used to, you know, hold the brolly over some of them when it was raining and we were chucking it down. I was talking. I'll go over and stand next to Jags or Brownie and talk to the other lads getting wet through. That's how I am. You know, I always picked on one. The players ribbed them after, I'm sure, and Adele was no different to anybody else.